I'm. I did stop.
I couldn't not leave that up. I mean, let's be fair.
I did stop.
Well, with that in mind, let me restart things and get things ready over here. Well, with that in mind, let me restart things and get things ready over here. There we go.
Okay, Quest for Glory 2 reminder list. There it is, I see it.
I should probably bring that up.
Alright, so I believe we are still live.
It looks like we're getting there. I'm not sure though. You're getting tired. No, we can't call ourselves Mr. PR Miller over there.
Alright, so... What's up?
Hi, Spirits. Are we live and ready to go then? Do 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 do.
Yeah, I said it's a smooth transition. Just
Cool. All right, that's all I needed to hear.
do is pause for a few seconds so I can switch audio sources, and we're good.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, what you see here is the start of the thief screen here. We've already gone through, and I have allocated stats in particular directions. 60, 75 into stealth. I only need 5 extra into lockpicking, and agility makes one particular task at the end of the game just a little bit easier. So I'm going to kick this on and get started here. So 3, 2, 1, and go. First days that we're going to handle are going to be... The first days that we are handling are going to be pretty much just based around buying things, because making purchases is very important in any game. And then once we're done doing our purchases, well then that's whenever we begin to really start getting into the point systems. But even still, just like Quest for Glory 1, we have to do particular questions and all sorts of things here, but we're going to use a glitch right off the bat here. 1, 2...
I kind of figured that since you're a thief, you're selling him something that you don't have.
Nice.
It is appropriate. So, Keep On Laughing has a posting in the Adventurers Guild indicating he wants a twirl of the beard of the guy who lives at the oasis in the desert.
Oh,
God, you
no.
buying X-ray specs?
Oh,
Oh no. What are you doing?
I don't know. I think we might have to risk a little bit.
X-ray specs?
Ouch.
I know you're playing as a thief, but do you really need to go rogue on stream here?
No, I don't need to get honor. I mean, you know, I'll just steal I'll steal a ban on Twitch for RPG Limit Break, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, dear.
No.
Okay, well, more practical things we did there. We got a magic rope from Keep On Laughing, the magic shop owner, and that rope will allow us to just climb vertically from anywhere, so that's pretty convenient. We also learned some stuff about an air elemental and got some stuff to defeat it, even though we haven't actually encountered it yet. We also have learned a little bit about fire and earth from Harik Atar, the apothecary here in Shapir. This is, in case you haven't noticed yet, a Arabian-themed area of the world. We then use our ill-gotten gains to purchase a map from the souvenir shop. This map allows us to fast travel. In this game, fast traveling is just kind of a summary of us going there. We click on a spot and the game says, okay, the map is confusing, the alleys are frustrating, so you just go there and you get them. But
Yeah, alleys are frustrating.
they are.
As you can see, Mr. Miller going through them.
Yeah, there's actually some tech to get through these tiny little doors. Mr. PR Miller has done at a few places is he's let himself ram into the far wall, but he keeps the mouse horizontally located such that it can lock on to the spot where certain doors will show up. Because that's the hard part of threading the needle on getting through. Because with all of the doors, when you're moving so quickly vertically, and
real quick, I
it's
need
so
to
easy
interrupt.
overshoot them.
Which is that Mr. Pure Miller did not use his usual name. So what is your name, sir?
In this point, M. Like some sort of weird
But-
James Bond.
but you
Oh
named
no,
your
that's
character
right. I
David.
did name my character David. I lied about everything to everybody so far. What a thief thing to do.
So your name actually matters. You need to be polite to this enchantress named Aziza. So you need to agree to have tea with her before she'll actually talk. And we do need to get some intel, specifically about a tree that is in the desert. We haven't actually seen that tree yet, but we can still hear the story. And it's a woman that has been turned into a tree as a matter of trying to protect her from the evil men that were attacking her. She is also a healer, and that's how she wound up getting duped into that situation. We will meet her again in Quest for Glory 5, and we'll actually talk about her in Quest for Glory 3. So a lot of these storylines are a little bit linked. We're now going to do our first
Nice.
major act of thievery. We need to climb a rope, hopefully not too far. and
hopefully the
steal
guards
some
don't see you.
bellows.
They didn't see you.
So there are a few thieving sequences here. This time we're robbing the safe of the weapons shop owner, Eastwood. And honestly, this guy's a total jerk. So,
I left evidence.
You dropped your leather armor? That doesn't sound safe.
Well, I like to be that thief who lives on the edge. I'm that thief.
See a little
Anyway.
bit of slow motion there to try to get it. We can't
Anyway,
actually
so
use
we
the-
did have motivations for choosing the classes for which games as we did, and we kind of feel like Quest for Glory 2 is where the thief really shines and shows off his best and his worst. It's like this is the thief's moment to shine.
It's also important to know I'm not really losing too much time here yet because I can't enter the next event until it's after midnight. So I am going to hang out here for just a second, do a safety save. There we go, getting tired.
So we're going to steal from another place now. This particular room, the general theme is as you go stealing stuff, eventually the various children of the family, well, siblings anyway, will all return from their war. Conveniently, the first person is so drunk that he just doesn't even see you. The next one would see you if you didn't hide. Or you can just type the word leave, and somehow that works. And you just exit the door, apparently right next to the people that are trying to come in, and they see nothing wrong with that. Also, you don't see them either, so I guess they have a ring of invisibility or something? I don't know. Maybe they learned the hide spell from Baba Yaga. That's very cool.
You must be a very good thief.
So, you get some points by fencing at least one of the items that he stole. For the most part, he doesn't actually need all the cash he got because he already stole cash from the magic shop owner. We also get a little poem from Omar, who is the Sultan. I would say in disguise, but he's not in disguise. He's just calling himself by a different name. Anyway.
Oh, the lamp is very hurt and angry.
Oh, I guess we're going to have to give it some help there.
Dear.
Oh, good, you're dropping the X-ray glasses.
I didn't want to leave it lonely, but now it's a completely different lamp. It's magic.
Okay, crisis averted. Whew.
The X-ray glasses work. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look it up on Google. You'll figure it out real quick.
Oh, you gave me a heart attack there. I thought you were going to skip day 7.
I got plenty more heart attacks where that came from. We don't have very high vitality in this game, so.
but that's good.
At some point, we have to sign the Adventurers Guild logbook. We do so on day 7 because that is the day that we can receive our reward for having the fire element before. One of each of the 4 elements is going to attack the city. If you were playing the remake, then the 5th element would have missed the city, but would still be present in the fight.
Nice shot.
We have a much better way of dealing with the air elemental than we used to. At one time, we just climbed up the rope and hoped it showed up underneath us, then dropped the dirt. Now we just throw the dirt into the funnel, and that works fine. We grab our prophecy through our horoscope from the astrologer. We met him a little earlier than we necessarily had to for our first meeting, because his location happened to be pretty close to where we needed to go for some of our thieves being a little bigger. We progressed the clock a whole bunch more, and pretty soon the Earth Elemental will be because the Earth Elemental is, we can now acquire some explosive powder from her. And so we do that. And with each of the elements, not only do we have to weaken the elements by attacking it, we also need to provide something to store it with. And we will use each of these elements for something down the line. In the case of the Earth Elemental, so after destroying it with explosion, we then used the cloth bag to just carry it around. We
so
now are
find
meeting
a
someone
time.
who is totally not Groucho Marx.
No,
And he is
Right.
going to
Right.
sell
So
us a
reminder time.
horse.
Ask about the beast and refill your water skins.
Wonderful. That was the one thing I kept forgetting, so that's on my notes. Don't forget that. And
I'm
I'll,
trying to
And get the beard.
crowdsource not forgetting stuff here. So, get off water is one of the examples of now unpacking there. All of the commands in the text parser for these games it takes the form of verb direct object. So just the last noun you provide is the only one it pays attention to. So even though get off and get water is 2 completely different concepts for the word get, because it happens to be the same word, it works for both. Anyway, we grabbed the beard that we had sold already several times prior. I guess we're retroactively fixing the timeline. And then we grabbed some stuff that we're going to need to make a Dispel Potion. Each of the first 3 games will feature a Dispel Potion, and in this one we need a Griffin Feather, which we got by just climbing up and grabbing one from the nest. And then we're also getting a Fruit of Compassion by hugging a tree. Also telling the tree who it was. This is the lady that had been turned into people. Not a great place to be in, but we give her some water, we give her some ultra fertilizer in the form of the Earth Elemental. We talk about some stuff, and then she's fine. Well, not exactly fine. She's still a tree, but at least she's blooming. And we take the fruit from that in order to create a Dispel Potion with Marikatar. So next up, we will use that Dispel Potion. There is a cage in the middle of the desert somewhere, which the dervish will tell you where it is. Points for getting that mentioned for you. And there is an enchanted beast there. We will disenchant him in order to find out that it was a assistant of a fellow by the name of how on earth am I
Alskerber?
blanking on the name of the
Alskerber.
Al
Or
Skirba.
you mean Adavis?
Yes, that one. There we go. He was an assistant of Adavis, who was totally not Jafar.
No, he's Phil Davis. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yikes. Yikes.
Shots fired.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they fired these shots back in 1989 when the game came out, so 2 years before Jafar even had a glimmer in Disney's eye. All right,
Yeah.
let's see here.
Alright, so
This
your next
game, to be
reminder,
clear, predates Aladdin.
you want day
Day-
14,
yep.
water elemental, get the pin.
Get the pin, get the pin, get the pin, get the pin.
Get the pin.
Not getting the pin would be pretty disastrous for the thief, right?
Yeah, just a little
You would
bit.
still be able to beat the game. You just couldn't 100% it.
Okay.
Those.
How do you pick the lock without the pin?
You can search for a needle in a haystack.
Oh, of course. It's a Sierra game.
You could also just break the gate open. You'll succeed on 3 tries.
Oh. Sounds noisy. And
Sounds
slow.
delightful.
Alright, day 16, you want Aziza and you want the tightrope walking.
Correct.
So, presumably, we've been trying to train our skills all of these days rather than just sleeping them off like someone who's really suffering from some pretty serious depression, but we've been doing the latter option there. We meet Aziza, and we find out that the source we've been writing is actually the ruler of a nearby city, Razir, which we will go and try to fix later. But over the course of our stay here in Shapir, we were supposed to be training our stats, and we should have seen this guy who puts up a tightrope and challenges people to go across it. This is actually pretty tricky, depending on your agility stat and how hard you have set the arcade mode setting to be.
So Mr. Miller is using a trick where he presses forward and then presses back a couple of times to steady himself. It makes it a lot easier. I'm actually kind of sad about this because before that we needed more agility, which meant the fastest way to train agility was picking your nose.
Yeah.
We don't pick our nose anymore. I'm sad.
No.
Yeah, you have a lockpick, so you can pick all sorts of things. And one of the options that you can pick is nose. There's no animation tied to that. And since it is a dexterity check, among other things, it checks your agility, which means that it trains your agility, which is that one of the fastest ways to make yourself faster in this game and more live and nimble and all that stuff is by just standing there picking your nose.
Yeah, does that point total look good, Mr. Miller?
That looks perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Sweet.
Cool.
We didn't miss
So-
anything. Not yet.
So we're staying up all night because that's going to skip the animation of the hero watching the sunrise when the caravan leaves.
This caravan is going to Razir. Supposedly we're sleeping in the inn because we're people, but we deliberately don't, to skip the sunrise and also to skip a little bit of hubbub about being given stuff by your friends the Kata before leaving. We do still get a change of clothes, which is important.
Yeah, don't drop that. You can't win the game without it.
Yep. Need clothes as a hero. Doesn't matter how good you are at stealing things, you need clothes. Remember, kiddos.
So we find ourselves in Razir, which is a pretty run-down and unhappy place now because it's been taken over by a military dictatorship. We meet our definitely good friend here, Senor Ferrari, who will introduce us to a information seller / water seller. Apparently, both of those things are equally illegal here in Razir.
Oh, here's the problem that we have, actually, because, I mean, we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and our thief
yeah.
has nothing to do but just remember his halcyon days back in Spielberg. You know that, right? Well, you know, I think we could actually see inside of his mind a little bit. Do you want to see a little bit inside of his mind? I mean...
Do I want to? I'm slightly scared.
Oh, you might need to, though. I mean, look at this. I mean, while he's thinking there, he might just be doing things. He might just be doing things.
To be clear, what is happening here is Mr. P.R. Miller has reached the point in the game of Cosmic Glory 2 where there isn't really anything to do for several minutes. We just have to wait for the clock to advance. Unfortunately, in Razir, we're not allowed to sleep in the inn until it is sundown. So it turns out that there is enough time to complete a any percent speedrun of the original game within this wait period where we have nothing to do in the game we are currently playing.
Yeah, like if you thought the 5 minutes for Baba Yaga was bad for the first game, then well, there's it's a bit more in Quest for Glory 2. Only this time you are literally listening to nothing. You're doing nothing.
So one part of why this works is that in the original release of the game, Heroes Quest, the game allowed you to just type the password that you allegedly overheard from the brigand usurpers, even without having actually triggered the event that made them gather in the first place. So this avoids having to fight an overpowered version that is generally blocking that time there. So just type hide and go seek and go on. And at this point, we've already reached Yorick's area. You may recognize it whenever David TKI did this just moments ago. And then, rather than applying the big approach, I'm going to do slightly differently. Oh.
Nice.
So this is what York's room is supposed to be like if you're playing through it the first time. So he just casts
did it.
open spell and then walks away.
Remember those good times.
Those were great times, weren't they, guys? Just great times to be a hero. Oh, just absolutely great times. But now we're going to go and see if we've wasted enough time. Nope. Nope. And if my timing's right, we still actually have about another minute's worth of jogging back and forth to do. So we're going to just do the normal thing and dance the night away. Let's go up here. Let's see what the dance looks like. What do you think?
Yeah, I heard you guys like Quest for Glory. We've got Quest for Glory, in Quest for Glory, in Questing for Glory.
Yep. Time waste percent. GG. I like that, chat. I like that.
Theoretically, there is one thing that can be done to very slightly speed this up. And that is to exit and enter the room at such a timing that some rounding errors with how the clock works will advance the clock slightly faster than it should. The problem is if you're not RAM watching and you don't have the perfect timing of a TAS, then you are just as likely to slow down the clock by about the same amount. So not really helpful for a player to run in and out of the door as you would see in the TAS, which is a thing that exists and is quite an interesting watch.
Yeah, the tool-assisted run is like just a hair over 5 minutes. It's really impressive. Shoutouts to C-Square for doing that one. Oop,
good on you for the safety save going to Taisha.
Why not?
Because if you accidentally go too far, you have
I made sure I also dropped those X-ray specs. This is where I'll let the imagination go.
No X-ray specs. Don't do it.
No. We want Questing for Glory 4 to actually show up here. So.
If we were a different class, we would stay in Zaisha's room there after having guard to her so she could escape as us, and we would just eventually get caught by a guard there. It's a little bit faster than trying to wait until the evening and then sleeping. However, as a thief...
It is just amazing that Shima packed as a wig, too.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Well, it's convenient. I mean, every time I went to RPG Limit Break, that's exactly what I took along with me. Extra clothes, laptop, practice stuff, wig, toothbrush. I mean, all of it.
So yeah, as a thief here, we do have something else we eventually get to do in Racing, which is kind of nice. What we are going to do is steal the Blackbird, an obvious play on the whole Maltese Falcon thing. I guess we're trying to make references to as many different classic movies as we can at once here. we were enabled to do this by having shown the thief sign to Senor Ferrari when we met him before. And he doesn't tell us who we are going to be robbing this item from, but it's not necessarily the safest person to rob from, as it turns out.
Yeah, like this is basically the moment at which the thief really starts being more than a common thief and just plain sheer awesome gentleman thief. Because you're gonna rob the captain of the guards himself.
I heard you like dancing in Quest for Glory, though, because we got plenty more where that came from.
A lot of the games do have some form of dancing. In fact, is there a single game that the hero doesn't dance in?
Well, if I had to take a guess, this would be the one that I would think about. But
I'm seeing some dancing right now.
Cyclops dancing. Cyclops dancing. Look at those eyes.
Look at the other.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He'll get married in 5 for sure. Now, but you do get to see Shima dance in this one. So in the first game, you've got 2 different dances with the fairies.
Oh, right, but we skipped that.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. And you know what?
You don't get any points for it.
No, it seems like such a nice thing to do, but the programmers didn't put that in there. And it would have also been a good idea for us to put that in there as another time waste GG%. But instead, you get this wonderful, wonderful hero dancing back and forth. Also, what I am doing in this meantime here is actually, you notice I'm sneaking and walking around. That's not just for show. I am training my sneak stats to continue. The next section is a little particular on it, so I want to make sure that it's just a little bit higher to make things a little less automatic game overy.
I mean, if your stealth is low, then Kaveen can be kind of finicky, and it's kind of luck whether or not you make it through this successfully.
Is it like an upper limit to how many squeaks you can cause as you go across? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, upper limit.
Also, after each squeak, you have to stop moving for a little bit for him to go back to sleep, even on the squeaks that you can't survive. So, if you can get no squeaks, that's awesome. But practically speaking, we're probably going to get it. But we will
We're probably going to get 3. Play it up to the wire.
Yeah, and this section right here is one of the reasons why we always use the, at least in actual attempts of pretty much every single game that we're doing the collection run, we use the VGA, or the remake version, because this is unavoidable. But this section is avoidable in the VGA version. They did include resting in this game, in that remake.
And I suppose we should talk a little bit about that because it is 100% free, which is a nice price to try out a series with. So AGD Interactive, company that put together a adventure game system for, modern computers, decided to flaunt their stuff by recreating this game here. And it is a quite nice remake. It's got some expansions of the combat system. It adds an extra mini game or 2 for the wizard. There's just all sorts of cool little things that get added in addition to bringing the style of the game up to what you see for the next 2 games of the series. And then it's also in 16:9 aspect ratio aside from that.
Here we go.
Like it's nighttime.
Oh yeah, I guess I should sneak while I'm doing this, shouldn't I?
Oh god, yeah.
That's why I safety save. Uh-oh. He sees me. Oh wait, no he doesn't. Now he will. Alright, let's try that again.
Yeah, you really can't mess around in this room.
I mean, that sounds like a challenge.
That's a challenge you don't want to lose.
That's true.
Only 2 squeaks to the cabinet, that's pretty good.
Yeah, when
You're
you're...
only gonna see 1 on the way out. Yeah, so the Quest for Glory series from this point on has a running theme for the thief of the Black Falcon, a statue worth the Sultan's ransom, and you're gonna see fakes in several games, but the real one in the last
Including this
game.
one.
Yeah. Give Ferrari the bird,
We're gonna give him the bird.
and then you're gonna give him the Falcon.
Yeah. Ah, flinch. Ah. No more
At this
waiting.
point, we can sleep and finally get going with the wait around crazy. So as soon as we exit, the guard will arrest us for some reason. The people here don't need a reason to arrest you. And we will show this kata that happens to be in the same cell as us, that are friends of the kata, by showing them the sapphire pin that was given to us by the jewelers in Shapir in recognition for our assistance to that city. We escape from the area using our lockpicking skills, and then we meet a very nice guy. This is out of police, and he is our friend. He does sound police, and he has these glowing eyes that seem pretty convincing. We will then use the mirror in order to redirect the moon to match the door, and we now have the Cave of Wonders, or whatever you want to call it, from Aladdin's story from the 1001 Arabian Nights. We'll get a couple more references to that here. We'll have Suleiman as the answer to the quiz.
Yeah. Don't forget to do lots of safety saves.
Oh,
That
yeah.
waterfall is deadly, and the fire room is probably not going to kill you, but it's risky all the same.
Yeah, I have natural safety safes built in because any percent is just brutal in this section.
So each of these rooms has a different challenge. Even just here in the dark, there are some cliffs you can just walk off of, and you have to redo the hop across the log again, which is a timing puzzle, and if you miss the timing puzzle, you just...
So, a couple of reminders. Remember to use the rope here,
Yep.
and then remember to ask the genie about wishes. Natara with the raid, and the honks. All the honks.
Here we go. There's that nice young man who talked to us earlier. He's so
And
nice.
He gives us a home, like a nice friend. Don't forget to ask about wishes.
Yep.
I'm still a little confused why he needed us at all whenever he just teleport here, apparently. But whatever. We find a ring, and the genie of the ring has some powers. We wish for a couple of stats, and then we wish to teleport over here. Which stats do you wish for?
Just agility in this one. I don't even know if we necessarily need it. The ending game has a mini game like that is the tightrope, and you're going to see that up here in a second. Okay, it's not going there.
First,
It
we
is.
have a pretty entertaining alternate scene for each of the characters has a slightly different way that they reach Aravis to interrupt his attempts to summon Iblis, the genie of doom, essentially.
Yeah, but the thief finds out in the harem,
Yep.
which is a scene so iconic that future games make it canon.
Regardless of whether you were the class that could have realistically gotten here.
Yeah, the only class that sees this is the thief. So this endgame is unique to the thief, and it is a little more brutal than some of the other ones. The other ones, we'd be done by this point. It's...
Yeah,
Here
in
we
particular, the thief is going to have to use his rope to walk all the way over to where Adavis is, and, well, he does not have a safety net. So, this is really where the thief shines. Not only that, but you can't even get into this magical barrier keeping you out. It won't let anything living or magic through, so, throw a knife through it.
So you
And then
interrupt the hexagram there to the ritual, and now we need to defeat Adavis. Failure means the destruction of the world, essentially. So, don't fail.
I'll be doing
We
lots
need
of
to
save
inch
Easter.
closer until he's in range for us, and we periodically duck down to avoid the fireballs where Atavis asserts that I will destroy you.
Yeah, every time he says something, he's choreographing that he's about to throw something at you. You know, you just need to duck well in advance, and then make sure to throw your knives at him.
And that's
Did you
the
call
guy.
time?
Oh yeah, I should have called time. We should have told you. Oh yeah, whenever you kill him with the dagger, yeah, he's dead. He's been dead for like 5 seconds now. So,
Okay.
but that is 480 out of 500, and we get 20 points for seeing the end of the game, which means we did it. There we go. Yeah. All right. And we're going to see all the friends that we got to know so well in this game, and they're going to tell us how great we were, reminding ourselves that we never learned anything about them. In true speedrunner fashion. Yeah, this game is so much fun, especially because the any percent version skips pretty much the entire first town. And by pretty much, I mean everything. We don't actually help anybody in the first town. In fact, canonically, that town should be destroyed by the time we get, by the time we finish defeating the big bad. There's Jafar from Disney's Aladdin. Oh, they're going to speak for David. David, they're talking about you, man.
Yay! I'm a hero again.
Look at this.
I don't even have to do anything, and I'm a hero.
Look,
Sounds about right for this series.
we met David. Yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good description of what the any percent's like. We met him on the carpet on the way to Shapir. The game assumes each time that you were actually a good hero. So even if you import doing absolutely nothing, everybody will remember you as if you were the hero that did everything. There's only a couple instances where that doesn't work for importing into this game, and that's with the amount of money that you get coming in. Whenever you import, the game actually registers whether you did the good ending or the really best ending, where you actually defeat Baba Yaga and rewards you accordingly. So there were benefits. We actually talked to Aziza way more than everybody else.
She also has some additional dialogue in the remake about you freeing the beast. No
Speaking of
Shima
freeing
dance feels
the
bad.
beast, we're about to free our Saurus shortly. Have to deal with Zaisha first. Yeah, our Saurus turns out to have been the rightful ruler of Razier, so feed him Dispel potion and then everything's fine. I don't know where we from the Saurus's body, but it works out.
We probably got it from his hairbrush and Razir or something like that. There's got to be
So
something floating around.
Do you think you got enough honor during this game to become a paladin?
I'm going to say with an emphatic yes. We did the most honorable things that we possibly could. We stole from everybody. We snuck into people's... We didn't become a paladin. Oh, no.
That's a shame. Okay, well, we're gonna have another chance at that.
Oh, no. I'm going to have to... I got to rethink my entire life choices now.
Maybe you should be a fighter for the next game.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I think the fighter might be the exact person to pass this off. I mean, he can actually... I mean, the fighter is kind of paladin minus, isn't it?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just do the only reasonable thing and I'll actually split.
Oh, puns.
Wanna split?